Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where I wish I was recording like a minute ago, because when I loaded up the game and looked at our manpower, I was just like, whoa. That's a lot of manpower. I mean, Republic of China just capitulated, so it makes sense. Absolutely fine. We are still working on cleaning up the Asian front over here, and we do expect this to finish soon-ish. This front over here, I'm still fairly concerned about because of the supply flow over here, which is not good. Not good at all. That said, supply flow up here should be reasonably fine-ish. What is infrastructure like up here? Interesting. I didn't realize we took control over this. That's neat. Okay, so I guess that must be tied to a victory point over here. Sounds good. I mean, I don't really care about the infrastructure over here. I think we'll go ahead and queue it up, but at a low priority. So we'll queue this up over here for now. And we did spend political power to convince our allies over here to increase their levels, but in all honesty, it's going to take them a very long time. They don't have very many factories. In fact, I kind of want to tag in and just see what the progress on that is like. Let's get a status update from these guys. So we're going to open up the debug mode, and then let's see, this is in faction view. I want to be in this view here. Okay, so we'll tag Evo. There we go. And let's see what their progress is like here. So they're not working on it. Okay. And this is because they have 2 civilian factories, or 3 civilian factories. Of those, 2 are currently in use as consumer goods factories, and 1 is being used, or actually 1 is damaged right now. That's this one that's damaged. So that's going to be quite a long time. There's no doubt about that. And they're even maxed out on their civilian factories over here. Really? They're maxed out on factories? Are these all military factories? What are they doing? Okay, yeah, they need to adjust that balance, but there's not really anything that we can do about that at this point. I mean, we could do another political power spend to try to restructure them a little bit, but honestly, I feel like that should probably have a cooldown on it. So we'll just hold off on that for right now, and maybe they'll get to work on constructing these naval bases at some point. But we kind of hope... Everybody's leaving here. We're already thinking of pushing into here. Let's push into here and see if we can push up this way and get some control of our own territory over here. I think that'll be very useful. And we are winning this attack for now. They do have reinforcements on the way in. We may want to think about dropping a nuke just to ensure that this happens. We do need to be pretty careful with our nuke usage at this point. Kaboom. We're going to need a second nuke. Okay. Yunnan Independent Republic just capitulated. Now, this is on the Asian front. Let's go take a look at what that has done to this front line. Oh my, okay. So this is going to need a little bit of work. These guys don't have any supply flow at this point. So we're going to move in over this way. We're going to have these guys all come in over here like so. Okay. And this will definitely require some work. Now, these guys up here, we definitely want to push in here. And then these guys, I'd kind of like them all to push in like over here, but not in this way exactly. I'd like them to push in something more along the lines of this, I think. Okay. Hello, pause menu. And we are attacking over here. That should be reasonably fine. Now, this front line here is awkward, to say the least. We're going to want to edit this front line to push down like that. Okay. There we go. Fantastic. So in theory, these should get stack wiped pretty quickly. I mean, these guys, they're going to maybe hold out a little bit longer, but in theory, I think we're going to be fine there. Now, we are struggling over here a wee bit. We're going to move these guys into assist. And yeah, we're not surprised that some of these are struggling to push in. but that's fine. Looks like we've got some stack wipes going on there. That is magnificent. As far as this goes, I don't care about this attack up here at this exact moment. What we really need to do... Scotland just joined the American Union. Okay. So... that does have an effect on the landscape. We should probably move some of these units into their own army. This is only 10 units, but we're going to tell them, get up here. Start planning an offensive line, like, up this way. And just go ahead and execute that on the off chance that Scotland gets called in. We don't know that they will, but we also don't know that they won't. So this is just a temporary force up here, just to be able to handle. And if we can get access over here to something that we personally hold, this is going to be a huge deal. Because then we can build our own naval bases over here. And that's exactly what we're looking to do. So let's move these guys on in. Also, Australia capitulated, yes? Yes. We're still working our way in over here, but that's okay. So we're still working on cleaning that all up. Okay. So we'll be arriving here shortly-ish. We do see additional troops over this way. That's fine. How are we doing up on this front? We're continuing to push in, and that is great. I'm very pleased about that. Eventually, these guys will be cut off. Now, we do need to continue to understand that Freetown down here, or rather Sierra Leone, is in the American Union. They've just not been called in. Uh-huh. This went into Guinea. I was hoping that it wouldn't. Oh well. We're going to drop a nuke up here to try to stop this attack. Yeah, that helped. Fantastic. And we're just going to dig in over here. Now, does that give us access to additional supplies over here? Honestly, kind of no. It kind of doesn't. We need to push up and take this port up here. That's what we really, really need. Is to grab... Where is that? That's here. Well, what we really need to do is push down this way. That's what really needs to happen here. We do have these troops that have arrived at Scotland, so that's great. And as far as this over here goes, I want everyone assigned to this, just get in there. Everyone assigned to this, just get in here. Okay. You're not assigned to anything, apparently. None of these guys are. Fascinating. I kind of want them to think about an invasion of Taiwan. So let's start a naval invasion order from here. Actually, from here. Like that. They'll start planning that. And that'll be great. So this guy is currently moving out over here. We're going to see about attacking him and pushing him back. They're moving in reinforcements over this way, and a lot of our troops for this army are way over here at this point. So we want these guys to make their way on in over here. Kind of like this. This should, in theory, do the trick. That'll be stack wiped, and we are making our way down to this new front line down here. And this looks magnificent. I mean, we have a lot of troops on their way over, but this is pretty much a victory over here at this point. I think we can safely say that. Awkward that the state of Japan and the Korean government here is the same color. Definitely a little awkward for me, but sure. Get in there and get in there. Excellent. Okay. Let's take a look at other situations out over this way. So we could think about an invasion of, like, the Philippines down here. And I actually like that concept. So this should be stack wiped here momentarily-ish. This is stack wiped. And this one, will we arrive in time to stack wipe this? I don't know that we will. We'll see what happens here. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Now they're going to stack wipe. We do have some unassigned divisions over here, and I want to move these divisions here. Okay. We're just going to dig in over here, and supplies are really, really scarce for us in this area right now. That said, we are pushing in over here. I'm going to drop a nuke here to continue this push a little more easily. How are supplies looking up here? Slightly low. Okay. This naval base could definitely use some bulking up, but we can't actually do that. So what's our bottleneck? Infrastructure in Marrakesh. So we just need to repair this? Okay. Where is Marrakesh? In here somewhere, I'm sure. Do. In here somewhere, I'm sure. Haven't seen it yet. It's a very long list of infrastructure that needs to be repaired. That was close to it, but it wasn't quite the one I'm looking for. Once again, close. Not quite. There we go. This one. That's a radar station, but we want infrastructure repairs. There we go. Let's get that underway. Fantastic. 1.76 million manpower in the tank now. That is magnificent. I'm very pleased. Okay, so we're going to move these two units, actually. These two are going to move up to the Scottish border, just to make sure. Okay. Sounds wonderful. So we're just chilling over here for right now. And this is completely fine. We're pushing in from the north, and we should be able to push in up here quite easily, in theory. Especially once we start getting some of this infrastructure finished up here. And start pushing them back down this way. There are quite a number of members of the American Union at this point that are not in this war. Which is awkward for us, to be sure. There's no doubt about that. We're going to move these guys over to this force for now. And this should be completely finished. Yes, indeed. We're going to select all of these guys. And let's think about a naval invasion from here to here. Like that. We'll start planning that, although we're not ready to pull that off just yet. Okay, looks like Australia we've finished up. That is beautiful. I think we should think about an invasion of probably Tasmania at this point. Let's see. This is tied up here. This is tied over here. Okay, good. So yeah, let's think about an invasion of Tasmania. And from there, I think Sydney would be our easiest choice. So let's go ahead and naval invasion plan from Sydney down into Tasmania. And we're just going to invade all of these simultaneously. Let's do it. We'll execute those as soon as they're ready. It's going to take time, and we don't really have the naval setup for it, I'm willing to bet. Let's see. These guys should really be moved over to the Tasman Sea. There we go. And yeah, our naval setup is slightly awkward right now, but we'll deal with that in a bit. Okay, so we are continuing to put... Wonderful. Supply flow down here will continue to be absolute garbage for quite a long time. And we know that there are a lot of American troops on their way over here. What do we have in these areas, like, blockading this right now? Do we have heavy submarine forces over here? We do have some submarine forces over this way, specifically these guys. I'm going to pull them out of the Caribbean and put them into Cape Verde and the African coast in convoy raiding. Like that. Okay. Now, was that the only... Hang on. Okay, so I want these guys to, like, move into a new fleet from the selected task force. There we go. And then I want... the other fleet, that was this one. I want them to remain where they're at. Do not do this. But these guys, come on down here, convoy raid here and here. Okay, there we go. That should cut off supply flow to some degree and cut off reinforcements, which is very, very important to us. So we'll go ahead and do that. Our rebellion zone has not yet managed to rebel, and it'll be, looks like a while before that'll happen. Okay. Ooh, what do we got going on here? Stop these guys, please. We've got some awkward borders going on up this way, and I think that it is, at this point, time to delete this order. Fantastic. So we're trying to push in over here, and in fact, I'm going to delete all orders that this army group has. Army group, not that army. There we go. And we'll frontline here, but we'll also have one of our armies frontline here. This army's goal is, of course, going to be to offensive line down like that. There we go. And they can execute that. Everyone else's goal is going to be to push down Vietnam here and come on down here. So they're going to offensive line like that. Perfect. And they can go ahead and execute that as well. However, there is one unit over this way that is going to come over here and frontline here. And they're going to offensive line down through Hong Kong. So something along the lines of, if I can actually get Hong Kong selected. There we go. Something along the lines of that-ish. That's really awkward looking, but sure. We'll go ahead and let that happen. Excellent. Next, I want to check infrastructure in these regions. Yeah, we took a lot of territory recently, and we're going to queue up infrastructure as low priorities. I want to be paused while doing this because it goes much, much faster. So there we go. We'll queue all that up. Perfect. Okay. Now, the Marrakech repairs... Oh, these got unqueued. Presumably during a rebellion. And this didn't get queued either. Okay, sounds good. The Marrakech repairs appear to be going nicely, and that does mean that we are getting some better supply flow. So that's great. We are continuing our attack over here. I do want to drop another nuke here. We are up to 32 at this point. And things appear to be going fairly well. Was that a dangerous naval invasion? It was, in northern South America. Ah. We definitely don't want this to happen. We'll see about reinforcing that. And this, of course, happened because I think we temporarily lost the naval supremacy because I ordered the entire fleet to come over here. That was definitely my fault. But they can't do that again, so we just need to hold this location for now. And it appears that we may hold. We're very close to getting there. Ah, they took this. Okay. How do we want to do this? Get over here. We're going to need to make sure that this is not a thing. We don't have air superiority here right now, do we? We do. We just don't have any nuke droppers in this area. We could probably relocate our strategic bombers that are over here in Asia. How many do we even have here right now? Where are they? Here they are. 100. Okay, we're going to relocate them over this way so that we can get these guys out of here as quick as possible. Okay. These reinforcements will be arriving eventually. Okay. Scotland did join the Republic of China. That's good to know. So this war here will be breaking out. Which means we should think about reinforcing this army a bit. I mean, our European Coast Guard is not very fleshed out right now. I don't want to reassign all units, just these units. And I think that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so we're sending a few additional units up here, and I do want to also toss in a commander here. So we're going to hire a new commander, and we're going to give this guy the reins. Okay. So Scotland will eventually fall. That's not a huge concern at this point. We don't have air superiority in the Sahara Desert. Apparently this is awkward. Okay. Good to know, but we're going to be moving reinforcements in over here quite soon. So that should be fine. We also have this light tank brigade that I'm going to send up to Scotland. Okay. Now, as far as this situation goes, they look like they're very low on their organization. Get in there. It seems like they're landing more troops, but they're also getting stack wiped, I think. Yeah, they're stack wiped. Okay, no problem there. That's dealt with. Well, they keep landing more, but we keep stack wiping it. I'm okay with this, in all honesty. This is fine. Sounds good to me. Okay. So as far as Scotland goes, we're working on pushing in over here. Now, we do expect a bunch of new American units to join in. And let's take a look at our air superiority over here right now. We can definitely have these guys go up over Edinburgh. And I have no idea what kind of air superiority we'll be looking at here. It'll be slightly awkward, perhaps. But we'll be able to redirect some of these over there quite soon. So that should be fine. In fact, we should be able to redirect these right now. We can send them up over here and tell them to go over Scotland. And I think our strategic bombers will be in range here because this is over Sahara, remember. And let's also think about grabbing half of these planes and sending them over the Sahara Desert and see if we can establish control there. Indeed we can. So that is wonderful. This is a huge stack of enemy troops, and I will be very, very happy to drop nukes on them shortly. Once we manage to actually get our planes flying, that is. It'll be potentially slightly awkward. Okay, so Scotland, we actually have strategic bombers here. Interesting. We are making some progress over here, not necessarily a ton. We'll keep that in mind for right now, but I'm most interested in dropping nukes right here, right now. To that end, I'm going to move one of these wings over here, and we're going to put them over the Sahara Desert as well. Okay. So that nets us full air superiority here, in theory. Which means that we can nuke here and start doing a lot of damage to this stack of enemies. And that is great. Kaboom! And we're going to keep doing it. We have 37 nukes right now, and that's great. We're going to send all 3 of these units up to Scotland. They need reinforcements up there. Okay. So we're going to keep nuking over here. I want to see stack wipes. That's what I want to see right now. When are we going to arrive? Soon-ish, but they're actually resisting us right now. Beautiful. One more. Okay, they may have retreated some of those. We may have stack wiped some of them, but that looks good to me. Perfect. As far as Scotland goes, we are expecting that they're going to be bringing reinforcements over here for sure. But I think we're going to be okay on this front once our additional reinforcements show up. So that should, in theory anyway, be fine. And yeah, you can see they definitely did retreat some of their units there, but they're losing ground over here pretty dramatically. And we're very pleased to see that. They're going to have a very hard time reinforcing these, in theory. We should, however, stop patrolling the African coast with this force for right now. And just do Cape Verde. Keep them focused very tightly there. Okay. Sounds great. As far as Asia goes, this looks pretty under control to me. And we can free up some of these air wings, in fact. But for now, this looks very, very solidly under control. Now, we don't have any strategic bombers over here for nukage, but I feel like that's okay. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue winning this war. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.